Good evening, folks. Chase here with a short disclaimer to the following episode. Here it is, the third part of our Star Wars special. Now, those of you who don't follow us on Facebook, I just want to inform you that the audio quality of this episode is fairly low, specifically my audio track. I had a processor error while we were recording, and I didn't catch it until we were done, so my track sounds like I have a severe stutter. At some times, it's not too bad, other times it's pretty bad, and it's difficult to understand what I'm even saying. But due to what I'm going to describe as an overwhelming demand, we're presenting it to you anyway. So without further ado, here it is, Garbage Theater presents Shut Up, a Star Wars Special Part 3, Spoiling Skywalker. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Garbage Theater presents Shut Up, a Star Wars Special Part 3, Spoiling Skywalker. I'm your host, Chase, with my co-hosts Blake and John, both of them.
Hey.
Blake's joining us now. I know he was privy to the first two parts.
Yeah. It should be good times considering I haven't seen the movie.
That's why we're calling it Spoiling Skywalker. So just to lay the groundwork, I know we told everybody we were going to do an episode after we all saw Rise of Skywalker. John and I saw it. Blake did not. Blake seems to have no intention of seeing it anytime soon.
No.
John and I both despised it.
Yep.
And Blake is just going to go along for the ride because he doesn't care if we talk about it.
Yeah, I find it so hard. Like when y'all started saying y'all didn't like it, like it really kind of shook me a bit because y'all are usually pretty forgiving, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just usually y'all are pretty forgiving for Star Wars stuff, and y'all weren't for this.
No.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't consider myself forgiving, really. I mean, like, the original trilogy are still the only ones I really care about.
Yes.
And then, like, I thought Last Jedi was pretty good.
Well, let me clarify then.
Yeah.
I think y'all are rational enough to say nothing will ever compare to the original trilogy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not comparing it to the original trilogy.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's kind of the way I see it.
All right.
And we basically agreed that Force Awakens was good fun, maybe not as creative as it could have been, and Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi didn't deserve the hate that it got.
Right.
Yeah.
This doesn't deserve the praise it's getting.
It really doesn't. I mean, the critics got it right this time. I honestly don't know what movie, like, some of these Star Wars fans saw that they think it's good.
Do you think it has to be like where it's like, no, it's good, I swear? Like they're just fooling themselves?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I really think they're just fooling
themselves. They were so desperate for the... Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I think I'm probably thinking the same thing, that they hated Last Jedi, and they really wanted something good to happen. Like they wanted it to be good so badly that they
knew
themselves
this was the end.
It's good.
Yeah, they knew that the end. So they were so hopeful for it to be that when the shitsmear that happened across the screen for 3.5 hours, it was like, oh yeah, that was fantastic. And I've just, in reading people's comments on and reviews on it, I've seen so many people say, well, it undid everything that Last Jedi did, so therefore it's great.
And I fully disagree with that. Like, I really don't think it undid anything. I mean, maybe like a handful of little things, but I don't think it undid anything.
No,
See, in the circles I travel in, there's a lot of my friends do, cosplay and stuff like that. And what I'm gathering is, like, just me kind of reading between the lines, I think it's hard for them to shit on a movie that they showed up wearing, like, full Endor Rebellion regalia.
Right.
Like, you don't want to be the guy that has to stand up and like deflate your speeder that's around you and say, you know what, fuck it, this sucks.
Yeah, you don't want to go that hard and then come out of the theater of a bad movie. Yeah,
you don't want to feel duped. You know,
right? What was also infuriating that I've read is a lot of people saying that they counter with a point that I'm sure we're bringing up is where was the hatred for this that Last Jedi got? And there's a lot of people that hated Last Jedi that came to, well, it's Star Wars. You shouldn't take it that seriously and get that upset about it. Motherfucker.
Right.
It's.
I'm all for. Like I said, I usually try to just kind of take the Star Wars movies for what they are. I try not to be too fanatical about them, even though I end up being fanatical anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times I just sit back and say, you know what, it's a fun movie. And I think it seems like over and over, it just seems like it's hard for people to admit that it wasn't fun. And I think that, here we are, 9th movie in. People don't want to end it on a sour note. So it's almost like they have to say something good.
Yeah.
Or then they feel that everything they've done in the past is pointless.
What I'm seeing, and maybe I've curated my my social media to a point that this is what I'm getting, but like on Twitter, a lot of the people that I follow hate this movie and liked Last Jedi and liked where things were going at the end of Last Jedi, and then this came and didn't do anything good, and they're very mad about it. And like that's more frustrating to me than like having like a couple of bad movies and then having one like that fixes everything for me. I don't know, having 2 like decent movies and then having a shit ending. That really Game of Thrones is now like exactly. It's gonna be hard to kind of go back to those movies now,
knowing where
it's headed.
Oh, I get you.
Before I had said I guess Star Wars nerds really want is just really shitty storytelling. And so when I made a comment, I guess it was the Star Wars special. I said something like that the Game of Thrones writers was taken off the new trilogy that's coming out. Give it back to them, because that's exactly what they want. Apparently, a rushed, incoherent.
I'll never understand why they thought. Why would the guy that wrote Batman versus Superman ever get work again? I don't understand why they would hire this man. I mean, this is the Batman versus Superman of Star Wars. It's just like a bloated fucking mess.
And
just a bunch of ideas that don't go anywhere. Like, a bunch of characters that don't have anything to do. It's so unsatisfying.
And like you said, this is one of the worst examples of J.J. Abrams just nothing can sink in. The whole movie has ADD.
Oh, man.
Right.
It's completely breakneck. Like, nothing that's supposed to lands, because you have no time to, like, deal with the gravity of whatever just happened.
Chewbacca dies and is alive before he could even blink.
Yeah. It's...
So, okay, again, just...
So, before we start going play-by-play for the movie, I don't need my rant music or anything, but I'm going to go on a little rant about Star Wars. And it's kind of explaining why I didn't go see it. Like, I refuse to go see Star Wars movies right when they come out. And here's a reason why. Star Wars fans.
Right.
I cannot stand when, yes, the opening crawl starts. You don't need to hoot and holler like a fucking idiot. All right? Not necessary. But the biggest problem, take a fucking bath, people. Because every goddamn time you stink. You come second only to a Magic the Gathering tournament.
I was going to say, what's worse, a Magic the Gathering tournament, a Super Smash Brothers turn, or a Star Wars convention?
This is how they are in order of funkiest. Funkiest would be a Magic Gathering tournament.
Oh, hell yeah.
Second would be a Star Wars opening screening. Third would be a Smash Brothers tournament.
They've had to make a rule at Smash Brothers tournaments.
Well, you know what? Maybe I'm not. I've only been to one Smash Brothers tournament, and I went on accident, so I'm not well versed.
How did I end up at this Smash Brothers tournament?
I just happened to walk into one.
I like randomly walking into convention centers.
Well, I was at the convention center, obviously, for like a con, and we just happened to walk into. Believe it or not, I've walked into many tournaments that had. Me and my friends have walked into a straight up extreme arm wrestling tournament when we were leaving a con one time. Walked in for
Just
free.
over the top. Yeah.
Walked in for free, watched the finals, and was like, "Are these people really this into this?" And then I was like, "What do I have to do to sign up?" But anyway, you stink. And
long story short,
yeah. So if I'm sitting there and I'm trying to enjoy the movie, and like what tore my drawers was Force Awakens. They're opening like within the first couple days. Open and crawl, you're gonna hoot and holler. All right, get that out your system. But do you have to scream at the top of your lungs when you see the Millennium Falcon? You saw it in the trailer. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that happened to my screen too.
Yeah, you saw it in the trailer. You knew it was coming. And just because somebody says hunk of junk, you gotta lose your fucking marbles?
Ooh, I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, I can't do it. So that's why, for the next one, whatever you were called, Last Jedi, I didn't go in the beginning. Because I didn't want to deal with the stench and the hooting and the hollering. And this time, I'm glad I just didn't go.
Yeah.
So rant over, take a bath, shut your mouth and watch the movie.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, I mean, you're right. I like to go see movies and I like to talk about... I like to find things that I liked about them, you know, so I don't feel like I wasted my time. And there's maybe a handful of things that I liked about this movie, but I really can't, like, recommend... I'm not like, yeah, you should see it just to see it. I don't think that about this thing.
Yeah. It's almost like, you know, it's better off you not seeing Howard.
Yeah, because the people who ended it had no imagination, so, like, why...
Yeah. I wish I had stopped watching Dexter to last season. I don't need to know that he went off to become a lumberjack.
I stopped watching it at some point, and I heard it ended terribly, and I didn't care to finish it, so...
He drives off his boat into a hurricane with his dead sister, and he appears in the Pacific Northwest as a lumberjack. He lives alone, so he doesn't murder anyone.
The last thing I saw was when he drove off into the hurricane, and then I quit watching the show.
Yeah. The last thing you see is Pacific Northwest. It's a logging company, and the fucking brawny man walks up, and it's Dexter with a beard. And he goes into the little trailer where he lives, and then he just sits at the table, stares at the wall, so he doesn't have to murder anyone.
Oh my god. Do you have a sign that says, like, don't murder?
Wait, I guess... The retroactive spoiler alert, we're going to spoil Dexter too. Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't matter, people. The show was never really that good to begin with. It had like 2 good seasons, maybe.
It was on the John Lithgow season. That's about it.
That's about it.
So, it's time. It's League HBO.
Was it a real beard or was it a fake beard?
Oh, it was fake as shit.
I knew it was going to be a fake beard. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Okay, so...
Anyway.
So Star Wars.
Yeah. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of Rise of Skywalker, I do say that Blake and I read the leaks. I believe it was the 4chan that came out. John did not.
Yeah.
He wanted to go in unsullied. Now, we had recorded an episode. John to bed. Me and Blake said we're going to talk about Star Wars leaks. And so me and Blake stayed up. We went through all the leaks, and we were like, this can't be real. This is so dumb. This is clearly someone watched the newest trailer, and they saw the scenes, and they string together a fan-y nonsense narrative through what they saw. That's what this is.
I actually said, they've leaked something themselves to throw everybody off the set.
Yeah, I almost
because
thought
you can't possibly do something this fucking stupid.
Yeah. And then lo and behold, I went and saw the movie, and things kept coming true. It's like, oh my God, it's real. Oh no, it's real. Oh God, they have a Goonies knife.
The fucking Goonies knife.
They have a Goonies knife.
Okay. We're not gonna.
Yeah, let's do the movie. Come on.
We don't need to go in order. Let's just talk about this. We're gonna freewheel it. This is a garbage theater episode. We can just talk. Okay.
Okay, so go ahead. Let's do it.
What they're trying to do the whole movie maps again. It's just all fucking maps. And
that's the only thing. It's the only thing J.J. Abrams can think of for a MacGuffin is a map. Map to Luke. Map to Sith Island. Like, so that's all he's got.
There's these little cubes that are these Sith wayfinders, and they've got you need one to find Exegol, which is the Sith secret base planet that's so hard to get to.
Okay.
So
this doesn't sound bad so far.
Kylo Ren gets one in like 3 seconds of the movie.
I will say that this is. I think this was the first thing that happens, right? Is he a scene of him just killing a bunch of guys?
It opens up with him in the woods, just slaughtering a bunch of natives to this planet, and he gets the thing. Next scene,
that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and we've talked about how badass it is to watch Kylo Ren fight. So you win for the first 3 minutes of the movie. So he gets it within seconds. He's at Exegol.
Boom, Exegol.
And he's meeting the Emperor.
Oh, wait, okay, so also Exegol is the most, ridiculously over-the-top, Sith planet ever. It's just, lightning all the time. Yeah. They had to put out, epilepsy warnings, because Exegol is, so crazy with lightning.
Exegol is the Sith's Hot Topic is the goth kids. So just what would be like a Sith's wet dream planet, and that's what it is. There's just red lightning and smoke.
It's almost completely devoid of life. Just the Emperor chilling there in the middle of some lightning.
What a Sith's wet dream wouldn't look like that. That's what somebody who thinks what a Sith would want to see, but not knowing any context behind the Sith. And so it sounds to me like you had some writers that didn't know what the fuck they were talking about.
Oh, I would venture to agree with you.
So Kylo lands on Exegol. He finds the Emperor's castle, which is just a big floating brick.
With one crack down the middle.
Yeah. And so it's floating. It's floating.
A crack.
It's a big ass crack up the middle. And it's floating 9 feet off the ground, and he walks under it to the middle of it where there's a door, because he knows that, obviously. And he goes up into the thing, and he goes in there, and again, it's dark, and there's chains and big scary statues.
All right, Sith doesn't equal Halloween.
Oh, it does.
It absolutely does. And he goes in, and the Emperor's speaking to him. He's finally you've arrived, and he comes in, and there's an Emperor. He's there. He's alive. Why? We don't know, and we're never going to find out. Yes.
So he's just been waiting there.
Ever since the end of Return of the Jedi, he managed to get off the Death Star before it blew up, and he's just been hanging out at Hot Topic until today.
What the fuck?
No.
Well, he's been making plans.
He's been building a colossal fleet of Star Destroyers that each have a Death Star cannon strapped to its on the side. So he's also been
got truck nuts that shoot giant lasers.
Who's
the
making
millions of Sith Lords that are also on the planet for some reason?
Hold on. Stop.
He's in this big coliseum where he's hooked up to this big fucking apparatus that's keeping him alive. He's like hanging in there, like a marionette.
It's like a big arm. It's like GLaDOS.
Yes, from Portal.
Yeah.
And he's hanging off of it like a puppet. And in the stands of this coliseum are hundreds of thousands of black-robed figures.
Dude, I swear to you right now, if I would have gone and seen this movie, it is at that point I would have stood up and walked the fuck out.
Well, you walked out at mid-5.
That goes against everything. There's only supposed to be two.
You don't know about the rule of 500,000?
Yeah, there's only supposed to be two. Now, if he would have had no, I would have left. Fuck that.
Well, we don't know anything about them. I mean, like,
no,
I can't say that they're all Sith. Like, we don't know anything about who these figures are.
But
they're just
there.
Black robed figures. You can't see their faces. They're just filling stands for some reason.
Yeah. And
I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
And they're showing they only show the Emperor. It's like a tool, and it's just black with like some flashing lights. And you just see some stuff that you can't really make out it is, and
it's like a tool video.
And so the Emperor, like you finally get like a look at him, and you can tell they didn't make it. It's just the actor. I can't remember his name.
Ian McDermott? Something like that?
Yeah, it's just him. He's clearly older, but they didn't put the wrinkly face on him. And it looks like that fall into the nuclear reactor of the Death Star. He took the brunt of that fall on his face.
Yeah. Took it all in the hands.
So that's the only thing fucked on him. Is he's got crumpled,
fingers are all messed up,
bony, like he's missing the tips of some of his fingers. Like his hands are messed up.
What a strange choice.
I guess
a strange choice.
I guess when Darth Vader power bombed him down there, he was shooting off his electricity so hard that he fried his hands.
You know, the thing is, allow me to play writer for a second. There exists something in the Star Wars universe that could solve this problem. A holocron.
Yeah.
Make it a holocron.
No.
Which thing? The current, the one in the Emperor Rise?
Just if you want to talk to the Emperor, make it a holocron.
No.
That's it.
No, we're not. No, he's there, Blake.
Without thousands upon thousands of, oh, dude, that I swear to God, I would have fucking left. Because I would have stood up and I would have been the loud motherfucker hooting and hollering and said, there's more than two, fuck y'all. I'm out.
I never understood that. Like, is that what it literally means? There's only ever two Sith? A master and apprentice?
Oh, don't get me started, God damn it.
Well,
yes, there's only two.
Okay, so, I'm asking questions because I don't really know, like, lore of the Sith beyond the movies. So Darth Bane.
Yeah. Long time ago, when they had like Sith training facilities and
this is from like KOTOR, right?
Yeah. Well, no, probably. Wait, I'm trying to think. After that, it would be after that. Before, after, I don't know. Who gives a fuck? I'm too mad to think about it. Anyway, he decides there's too much infighting between the Sith, and it'd work a whole lot better if they're just a master and an apprentice, and that's it. So he kills everybody, and he's got an apprentice, and that's it.
Okay.
And the apprentice will eventually kill the master, and round we go in this thing of ours. And that's it.
Okay.
Not hundreds of thousands building fucking laser ships.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know who these people are that build the ships. Okay, like, I saw online that, or heard somewhere that a fully manned Star Destroyer has like 47,000 people on it.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God.
So you're talking about
how many Star Destroyers are we talking about?
Hundreds.
Oh my God.
Hundreds. And they're all like under the crust of the planet.
Yeah, they're all
for some reason
buried in the crust of the planet, and he lifts them all out.
Like with the Force?
It's played that way. I'm not going to say that.
Like it.
I'm not going to say that for sure. They could have just turned on and come up, but
because if that's the case, if you use out, like I'd be out again.
Yeah, no, I think if they'd run out. Because
if you were that good with the Force, why build the goddamn ships?
They would absolutely run out of the Force with the amount that he uses it.
Oh, don't worry. There's plenty of dumber stuff to come.
Like, they couldn't build doors for the ships to emerge from?
No.
They just have to blast out of the
not edgy enough that they crumble from the crust of the charred black ground.
And, like, where do they get these, like, millions of New Order, like, crew members? It makes no sense.
Where are the kyber crystals to do this?
Wait. So is he siding with the New Order, or is he his own thing?
No,
dude,
no. He's starting the final order.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he started the New Order because because okay, dude, we haven't even gotten to where Snoke come from, Chase?
Yeah, Snoke. You know who Snoke is? The Emperor made a pile of clones trying to make a Snoke so that he can send them out and start this New Order bullshit.
Just do it yourself. Why? Like,
there's a when Kylo Ren's walking into the Hot Topic castle. There's a big tube filled to the brim with Snokes.
Just a bunch of dead Snokes, and they all have the messed up heads. Like, why did they?
They're all exactly the same.
Snokes that way. Like they couldn't make a Snoke with a regular head.
I couldn't imagine watching this. Like, my head's exploding right now just from y'all talking.
In the first scene.
My God.
But then there's a bunch of stuff.
Why did they do that?
Because he had to be, like, behind the scenes for some reason. I don't know, but, like...
The Emperor has been pulling the strings, everything from the jump.
Well, then why build the Star Killer thing if you had, why?
It was part of his plan.
It's a shitty plan.
So yeah, I don't understand if Snoke. I don't know if Snoke was like a sentient being or if it was just some kind of puppet that the Emperor used.
The only way this plan works is if the Emperor said, "Well, hold on, we got to stretch out 2 movies first." That's the only way his plan works.
The Emperor works for Disney.
Yeah. Oh, just break them in from the beginning if that's what you were gonna do. Oh my God! I'm so mad.
JJ come out and said that he had planned the Emperor all along.
I've heard
That's fine, but
I've heard a lot of stuff. Like recently, so everyone on the production is like throwing each other under the bus now, and like changing all their answers all the time to like questions. Like JJ said, yeah, it was his idea all along, and then like I heard someone else say Kathleen Kennedy's idea was to bring back the Emperor. I don't believe anybody, frankly. It seems to me like they had no creative solutions for, which is shocking to me. Like, you guys are writers, write a movie.
Yeah. And if you're gonna have a Sith planet, why didn't they show like them training Sith or something? Like they're building a new Sith army. That'd be cool to see.
That could have been cool.
No.
Instead, we got construction workers wearing black robes, from what it sounds like.
Yep. But at the end, when you see the people like on these Star Shores, they look like regular Empire dudes.
Yeah, they're just First Order people
wearing the Nazi uniforms and all.
Yeah. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they came from. I mean, they make a thing about like the stormtroopers in the First Order were people that they were children that they took, and made them into stormtroopers. But and they mentioned that a couple more times in this movie, but they must have been doing it on a crazy scale.
They say, man, we got a lot of stars. We got to kidnap some more kids. They say something along those lines.
Oh man. I'm so disappointed.
So
again, we're only in like the first 10 minutes of the movie.
so the Emperor tells Kylo, look, you're going to be my boy. You got to go kill What's-Her-Face. So,
okay, reasonable request.
But the opening crawl, which something we skipped over. The opening crawl comes on, and the first line of the opening crawl is, the dead speak. And that was the first point where I pinched the bridge of my nose and looked at my feet. So the opening crawl sets up that Kylo Ren, there's this broadcast out of nowhere, and this Emperor talking about he's got the final order and watch out, I'm coming.
No, all it says is that there is a message of revenge from the Emperor.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that you had to be playing Fortnite to hear the message?
Oh, come on.
Yeah, bro. They put the message in Fortnite.
I just lost a mountain more respect.
Oh my god. What did they do?
All they had to do was like show them hearing the message and showing like the gravity of the situation on everyone's face. Like, oh fuck, the Emperor's back. But they did that shit off screen and then put the message in Fortnite. It's insane.
Why Fortnite?
Because it's like the biggest game.
Because that's what all the 12-year-olds play, and that's what this movie was the intelligence level this movie was aimed at.
This is gross.
So, God, but John, I'm so God disgusted now. I can't even remember what the hell I was talking about.
Dude, when I heard that, I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
You know, you just launched Disney Plus. Hide it somewhere in Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Make it like a secret menu that somebody could stumble across.
Well, there's some kind of Fortnite.
I must be a marketing fucking wizard.
There's a Star Wars crossover in Fortnite. Like, you can be stormtroopers and shit now.
Yeah. There was a Marvel crossover too, where you get Thanos. You can have Thanos doing the Cabbage Patch and whatever fucking bullshit that game's about. They didn't put a crucial part of our story of Endgame in fucking Fortnite.
Or you just launched Disney Plus. Hide it somewhere in Disney Plus.
So, anyway, this message from the Emperor.
God, I mean, the Watchmen did shit on a website.
That's the way you used to do this.
It was awesome.
That's the way you used to do this. You did it on the website.
Yeah.
Watchmen did it this year. You found out who Lube Man was.
Okay. So, the Emperor sends out this message. Kylo Ren hears it, and he's like, I'm not gonna let anybody fuck up my claim to power. I'm finally in charge of the First Order. I'm not having the Emperor guy can take it away from me. So he's going to Exegol to kill the Emperor. That's his mission.
Okay. Reasonable.
But
that's fine.
Goes along with Rule of Two. Okay.
He walks in the room, and Ezra's like, hey, you're going to be my boy, right? And he's like, yeah! And that's it.
Well, then he
should have just killed him right then. If he'd have killed him and then said, okay, all this shit's mine now, that'd have been cool. Because that follows what a Sith would do.
What is Kylo's plan? Because he still plans on killing the Emperor, but it's like later. He's like, I'll do it later.
I don't know what his fucking plan is.
I can't remember why he chose to wait.
I mean, he's there.
Like, can you imagine Kylo just killing him right then? And then you have all these thousands of people trying to come get him, and he just mows down all of them because he's that much of a badass. That would be awesome to see.
Nah, that's not going to happen. So Emperor tells him you got to kill Rey because she can't be here. And also, this is part of the Emperor's master plan too. Don't worry about that. Everything that happens in this movie, the Emperor wanted to happen.
Why? Is it so Rey can bring balance to the fucking Force?
Wait for it.
Yeah, I guess fucking so, huh? Jesus Christ.
So, meanwhile, Finn, Poe, and Chewbacca and R2 are all the Millennium Falcon trying to meet with this spy that's been working for the First Order to get crucial information. They get to him, and there's this big whole like dogfight thing with the Falcon and some TIE fighters. But this is where they start doing shit again, where they decide that this thing. What do they call it exactly, John?
It's like hyperspace skipping.
Hyperspace skipping, where you just randomly kick on and off hyperdrive and just bounce around like everywhere to try to lose your pursuers. So it's like something out of Futurama, where they kick it on and they kick off and they're on this weird planet, and then they kick it on and kick it off and then they're on this weird planet.
Yeah, and the
great zombie
like just blindly firing the hyperdrive off.
Yeah,
which I understood was no number one
bad
with
idea.
hyperdrives.
It's a bad idea.
Yeah, didn't we establish that in the first movie?
You sure did. I guess it like in fairness it kind of fucks up the Falcon, but like I don't know.
Yeah, the Falcon's damn near destroyed by the time they get back to the base planet where Rey is training on Anya. They land and Poe's all pissed off because he thinks Rey should be with them instead of training to be Jedi and blah 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 blah.
It's a weird conflict for them to have. I don't understand why. Like, why would he be mad at her? Like, he's a fucking pilot. Like, what else? They have enough people on the Falcon right now. They don't need her.
Yeah, what? I guess because she can do the Force.
Whatever. Anyway.
So, is this where they finally play the tape of the Emperor and like they're like, oh, it's true, it's the Emperor?
Do they play the tape? I don't even know if they play it.
They never play it, but they decipher for it that it is in fact the Emperor's voice.
Yeah.
And that's where Mary from Lord of the Rings comes in to spit out some exposition and then disappear for the rest of the movie. He comes in and they're like, it's the Emperor. How the Emperor back? How is this even possible? He says, well, you know, there's cloning, there's other bullshit. I mean, there's countless reasons he could get back. Bye.
That literally happens. It's like, I don't know, a bunch of Sith bullshit, probably.
Yeah. Oh shit, is it already second breakfast? See y'all later.
Oh, yeah. Of course he's in it because he was in Lost. And that's like, that seems to be JJ's primary concern is getting all of his homeboys into his movie.
Making sure all his friends have a part.
Well, to be fair, I'd probably do the same thing. If they ever picked me to direct a Star Wars movie, believe me, y'all would be in it.
Appreciate it.
Doing some stupid bullshit in the background.
Yeah, but like this is okay. So I told you guys that I made like a list of scenes that I wish we'd gotten at some point in this series, and this is one of them. I wanted like a Gandalf-esque flashback showing how the Emperor survived his fall. You know?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Would that not have been cool a little bit?
Yes.
In the deepest region on the tallest peak, smote is his ruin mountainside.
That would be good.
I mean, what would it be, though? He lands on his fingers, like, fuck my fingers.
Jesus Christ.
He scurries into a ship that happened to be down in the fucking reactor.
Listen,
and flies away.
I don't know how. I'm not the writer. It's not my fucking job.
He's the same tactic that Luke's lightsaber used to get off of Cloud City.
The Force? Question mark.
J.J. Abrams just thinks if something falls down a hole, it'll wind up somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he scurries onto a little shuttle, and in the seat next to him is Luke's lightsaber. Like he collected that too.
Oh shit, that's cool. But like something that I would have liked to have seen, because it was pretty stupid that his hands were just all messed up and there was nothing else because he's like in a black robe. But to like see maybe the rest of his body's all messed up too, and that could have shown it there in that flashback. And then he's covered in a robe for the rest of the movie.
He was less
bingo bango.
He was less screwed up looking than Vader was at the end of the Sith.
Wow.
And all he did was catch on fire.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't go for the really over the top.
He caught on fire and was
prosthetic.
betrayed by his best friend, but
Oh, here we go.
Irregardless.
Well, I think they were probably going for like the Emperor's makeup in the original trilogy isn't nearly as over the top as it was in the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
They were probably trying to go from the.
There was a few wrinkles in the prequel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty weird.
My dude had a septuagenarian's ass crack on his forehead.
So, can we just talk about the Goonies knife? Because I really want to talk about it.
Yes, I'm curious.
Okay, so at some point, the new MacGuffin is we find a Sith dagger. And
okay, so wait, you got to find the Sith Wayfinder, to find the Sith planet, you got to find this knife that'll lead you to the Wayfinder.
Exactly. Now keep that in mind. So there's this knife that find this alien guy that was with his parents. Was that?
I think he was sent to kill Rey's. He was sent to kill Rey's parents.
Yeah, he had it. They find him on. They find like the ruins of his ship on this desert planet. Yet another planet.
I was about to say, is it a different desert planet?
Nope.
No.
It's Tatooine 3. Inhabited by squid people.
Well, that's kind of cool.
So they get there. There's this festival going on, and it's Life Day for the squid people. And
yeah.
So they find the dagger, and it's covered in runes. And C-3PO says, "Oh, this is the ancient language, and it's against my protocol to read it. I'm not allowed to read Sith language." So they said, "Well, we
can.
What are you, 10?
He can, but his programming won't let him."
It makes no sense. Read it. Yeah, I can read it, but I can't read it. So they say, "Well, we got to bring C-3PO to somebody that can override his protocol so that he can read the damn thing." So.
You could have another Lord of the Rings parallel. He could have just like talked about how it was black speech, and it shouldn't be muttered out loud, but he did it anyway.
No.
You could still show that it's not something to be taken lightly without having to go get a fucking upgrade.
No, we need another fucking map scenario. So
it's another fetch quest.
They take they've got the dagger, and then the First Order arrive. And they capture Chewbacca and the dagger. Oh no! And this is the scene where Rey's running through the desert, and Kylo comes in, and he's going to run her down a TIE fighter. Okay. She jumps over him. She cuts the wing off. It crashes. He comes out. They're about to do their little standoff, and then the shuttle that supposedly has Chewbacca in it lifts off and starts to fly away. And Finn comes running and says, "Rey, they've got Chewbacca on the thing." And so she reaches up and she grabs with the Force and she starts pulling it back down to the planet. So Kylo reaches up and starts pushing it away from her. And so they get this struggle with the Force, and Rey gets so into it, she accidentally lights up Sith lightning, hits the ship, and blows it up. She killed Chewbacca with her rage.
Whoa.
So her and Poe and Finn, they scream out, "Oh, Chewbacca!" And they said, "We gotta go!" And they jump in the Falcon and fly away. And Lando Calrissian's there.
All of a sudden,
yeah,
wearing the same shit he was wearing in
he's disguise and all, and he's in a disguise just like he was in Jedi. He takes it off. And he's got his cape, and he's there, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Calrissian," and they're like, "You sure are,
fuckers." Can I talk about, like, just briefly? I want to talk about their little tug of war with the ship, because it just seems like another, like, an escalation of power that I don't quite understand. You know, like, lifting a ship used to be a feat, right, for a Jedi, but now they're like this. They're fighting over this like giant ship, and it looks like there's no physics on it. It's like it's no weight. They're suddenly very, very powerful.
Well,
both of them.
I gotta say on this, in Force Unleashed, when Starkiller pulls the Death Star out of the sky, it's one of the most badass things in the Star Wars game.
It's very cool, but it's just like I don't know. Where do we go from there? You know?
It's starting to get to where you can just pretty much do anything, and we kind of get to that point where we just warp space and time and reality and where things really are. So So oh no, Chewbacca, they fly away, and then Finn and Rey have this little moment on the balcony where like oh, it was an accident, and just like no, there's something inside me that's wrong. There's something. I'm scared now. And so they say, okay, now we gotta go to this other planet where there's a new person we're gonna meet that barely has anything to do, and this is where the person that can override C-3PO is. So they go there and they sneak in, and there's order everywhere looking for him, and Daft Punk jumps out, and she's got some old beef with Poe, and they don't like each other. But Poe convinces her, you got to help us. And so they take her to the guy going to override C-3PO, and he's this little like 4-inch tall little puppet guy.
He's like the only thing that's going to endure after this movie is forgotten.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because they. I can't. No. So they go there, and they think that the dagger's gone now because it blew up in the ship with Chewbacca on it. So they're like, "Oh no, we don't have the dagger. How can we do it?" And C-3PO was like, "Yeah, we don't have the dagger. You just have the copy of the text and scratch my memory forever." So anything C-3PO sees, he's got his memory bank. So this is when they decide, okay, well, we'll take him to the place. They find the little dude. And the little dude goes into C-3PO's brain and says that, I can override his protocol so he can read it, but in a completely arbitrary. And well, everybody's kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever. No one gives a shit.
Yeah, nobody gives a
shit about 3CPO. And they give him this moment that's supposed to be this touching thing, and it's in the trailer where he looks at him and they're like, "What are you doing, 3PO?" He's like, "I'm just taking one last look at all my friends," and none of those people are his friends.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit about him.
They didn't give a fuck.
They don't care. They just know what's in his brain.
So 3PO.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing.
They really did 3PO some disservice here. I mean, he was always like the heel joke, but they gave a shit about him. Yeah. So,
I mean, Anakin made him. He's pretty important.
He volunteers. Okay, wipe my memory. It's cool. Bye, friends. Aren't my friends. They're
like, yeah, shut up.
They switch it off. His eyes turn red. Turns into an evil robot when he speaks Sith. And
oh, come on.
He translates it, and he says that the location of the other Wayfinder set, this location, they punch it in, and what do you know? It's on the moon's Endor. So, now, John, help me. Did we already go Chewbacca?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, not yet, because so this lady that Poe used to run with, they find out that Poe used to be like a criminal.
He was a spice runner,
drug dealer or something. A spice runner, yeah. And this lady used to be on his crew, and like, you know, he left them to join the resistance.
Are they going to shoot romance in here? You bet your ass they are.
Oh, dude, everyone fucks now, by the way. Everyone fucks now.
That's not the way it used to be.
Poe fucks, Emperor fucks.
That's the one. Like, that's the one I would know about.
But anyway, so she talks about how, like, they've been working to get off this planet for, like, years and years, and they finally got this coin that, like, will let you onto any First Order ship for some reason.
Oh, whenever you said they got this coin, I thought you meant like in the Witcher sense, like I got this coin now, and I can pay for the ship. But you mean like just one coin?
It's like a Chuck E. Cheese token that lets me get on any order ship, no questions asked. They would make that for some reason.
Yeah,
yeah. And then somehow I forget how they realized that Chewbacca's alive. I can't remember because they have
it's because
they have to go.
Kylo Ren's ship comes in. He's doing his mind meld thing with Rey again, and he figures out where they are. The ship is parked over him. She goes up to the ship, looking. Was she looking for him? No, that's they figure out that Chewie's alive. She goes onto the ship. He comes.
So they all. So the lady gives Poe the coin that she's been working forever to get, so she can get off this fucking planet, and she just gives it to him. And then they go on a rescue mission.
Is that before or after she gave it to him?
Definitely before.
Okay.
Yeah, so they get up, they use the coin, put it in the Star Destroyer slot so they can get in, and then and rescue.
Wait, are we talking about the coin, or are we talking about them two now? The Star Destroyer slot.
And like, you remember how in A New Hope they had to like sneak around and like get stormtrooper outfits and like. Go through all kinds of subterfuge to like rescue Princess Leia and shit. Nah, forget it.
Interesting.
We're going running and gunning. 3 people running and gunning on a Star Destroyer,
which has how many people on it again?
47,000.
So they go on. They split up. Go and look for Kylo, and because she needs answers, because he told her that. Pushed her so that she could know her true power, which is why she shot off the lightning, because he wanted her to do that. So it turns out Chewie was on a different ship, of course. Finn and Poe rescue Chewie. Rey goes to find Kylo. Kylo's down on the planet, by the way, because that's the last place where he thought she was. So they're looking around. They're doing their mind meld thing. She's in his room with the Vader mask. And so they connect, and they have a lightsaber duel in 2 different places
at the same
time. He's on the planet fighting her. You see him fighting. She's up in his room fighting him. You see them fighting. So what does a third party see?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of a cool visual, but I don't understand.
I'm about to say, sounds cool, but...
Well, because they do these, like, wipes where, like, transitions between, like, where she is and where he is, and... I mean, visually it's cool, but I don't really understand how it works exactly.
They wind up smashing the Vader mask in the struggle. They rescue Chewbacca.
Well, when they do that, that's when he's able to see it because she interacts with it, so he knows where she is now.
Yeah. So he says, she's in my quarters. Everybody back up to the ship. So they get Chewbacca. They get to the Falcon, just parked in the Falcon's not parked. The Falcon's outside. She's trying to escape. He finally gets up there, catches up to her. They're in the hangar bay of the Star Destroyer, and they have this last little back and forth moment. And the Falcon flies up, and she jumps out of the Star Destroyer, which like sends a shockwave knocking down all the Stormtroopers and shooting Kylo back. Jumps into the Falcon, they fly away. They got the dagger now too. So they now have the coordinates of where the Wayfinder is.
So they did not need to wipe C-3PO's memory.
Oh God.
Oh well, I guess they still did to read.
Well, they had to read.
Guess.
That's the only way they got the coordinates.
Never mind.
So they go to the planet. It's one of the Endor, not the Ewok planet, not the Ewok moon, not the.
Okay, hold on. If you're gonna go through the trouble of saying a moon,
I thought for sure we were going to the moon of Endor, but no.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a reason for that, because apparently there's a theory that when the Death Star blows up in Return of the Jedi, it would, due to its proximity to Endor, or the forest moon of Endor, it would have like killed everything on the planet.
That's right.
Well, I think it had something to do with radiation or something. I don't know.
No.
It was, you know how Star Wars people
There
speak.
was indeed a party on Endor.
I saw it. They were doing jub in the goddamn Ewok.
Yeah.
He tells no lies.
So,
Somebody was getting it into the Star Destroyer slot.
it's not the forest moon of Endor. It's the moors, the ocean and moors moon,
the water
of
moon.
Endor.
Oh,
So they land there. There's this group of First Order deserters that are living there, and they're
good for them.
they're like the unwashed like children from like beyond Thunderdome, living out on the. They're like they
In the before time,
they've got like
long
horses
ago.
and spears and shit. So they land there and they meet the leader, and she's like, "Yeah, I can show you where it is." They go to the water, and there's a big chunk of Death Star that's laying in the ocean. It's the big part. You see it in the trailer. It's part of the gun part in there, and
Okay.
Yeah, the only part that you'd be able to like recognize if you saw it.
so. This is where Rey takes out the knife. She presses the button on it, and these two semicircle things spring out of the pommel. And she holds it up, and the edges of the blade, it looks like a key. The edges of the blade and the bullshit on the pommel line up with the chunks of Death Star that are in the water.
No,
And they
come
point
on.
to
Yeah,
the exact spot where the Wayfinder, which is the Emperor's room. So some asshole. Wait, no,
But it, also it doesn't take into account depth.
no, wait. So the Emperor gets thrown down a shaft. He lands on his fingers, gets in a ship, flies away. Death Star blows up. A chunk lands on the planet. He goes down to the planet, takes a snapshot, forges a goddamn dagger in the exact shape of the chunk that's laying there to make a map to a thing.
But only if you stand at this
To
one
make a map to
particular
a thing where
point.
he doesn't want anyone to know where it is.
Right. Only to show his secret location. You know, but
What
only if
Gulliver
that
Pile
chunk
made
stays
this
where it
fucking
is.
dagger and fucked up the plan?
Yeah, and of course the Death Star is in the water, like a raging ocean. That would be constantly breaking pieces. Like
It's not just
there's no way
It's not
that
just
this would
high
stay
tide. It's
unchanged
like
for very long.
tidal waves, like crazy, like perfect storm weather. So she sees where One-Eyed Willie's treasure is. She gets on a boat thing, and she goes out there by herself. She goes in. She gets to the Emperor's room, and she finds the Wayfinder. Kylo shows up.
Oh, don't forget about Dark Ray though, because contrary to my predictions, she was actually in the movie. Wah, 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 wah. Like, so she goes into some chamber, sees Dark Ray in there. They get in a brief fight where Dark Ray flashes her shark teeth at her.
It's the fucking jump scare Bilbo did to Frodo. He goes, yeah!
It's so stupid. stupid.
Oh, sweet Jesus. She has this vision. She gets the Wayfinder. Kylo shows up. They're out in the trailer. They're out on the chunk of Death Star, and the water's crashing, and they're having their duel. And Finn and leader of the kids that are on the planet show up. Finn tries to run to her, but she gets pissed off and she pushes him away because she's fighting Kylo, and this is her thing to do. They're fighting. She's struggling. She's not doing too well. And this is where we cut back to Leia, and a whole bunch of questionable shit happens. So clearly, this is where they ran out of Carrie Fisher. And so,
yeah,
you gotta at least point out they didn't have a lot to work with here.
Yeah, and I want to give them I don't know. It's like you kind of want to... You're like, yeah, I understand, but right around it, bro.
I want to give them a pass for it. Yeah, so... so Leia's, like, she feels the fight happening, and she says... I've got to reach out to my son. And so she walks away.
Does she say that?
And... Well, she says she's got to do something. She's got to.
No, it's more embarrassing. It's more
away.
Embarrassing than that because it's Maz Kanata says this because it's like a body double of Leia, like moving in slow motion, and Maz is like
shot from behind. Yeah,
Maz is like she's gonna do something, and it's gonna use the last of her strength.
Yeah, and I was like the touching thing is that the girl that's helping the body double lay in the bed where she's helping her lay down is her actual daughter, who's been in the trilogy.
Right.
Yeah.
So they did this little thing.
I mean,
so
okay,
that's nice.
I mean,
so
that's. I mean, what else are they gonna do?
Yeah. So she helped her back. She lays down on the bed and goes back to Rey and Kylo fighting. And for a brief moment, Kylo hears her say his name. And he hesitates, and then Rey stabs him through the chest.
Mm-hmm.
So she realizes that she just killed him. She, turns off the lightsaber. He falls to his knees, cradles him for a second, and she uses Baby Yoda tech, and she forces him, which she's done already. When they were in the sand planet where they got the Sith dagger, there's this centipede worm snake that's attacking them, and she sees that it's boom, and she heals it, and then it leaves them alone.
So, I got a chicken and an egg question.
Yeah.
Did Baby Yoda do that, and then they said that'd be a cool idea for Rey to do?
Okay.
Or was Rey gonna do that, and they said, well, we better have some context for it, so make Baby Yoda do it.
Okay, so Force healing isn't anything new. It's been around since the first Star Wars video games.
Yeah.
Correct, in the video games.
I want to argue that that's a video game trope. There's a reason why it's only in video. That's a very video gamey thing to have.
Yeah, because you don't want to... I mean, you gotta keep playing.
Yeah. You know what's interesting, though, is I've been playing Fallen Order, and the healing in that is like a stim. It's not Force healing. I don't know if it's going to change later, but... Yeah. Anyway.
But so and how long was this production for? I don't know. Did they know that Mandalorian was going to come out before this, and so let's set up Force healing with a cute little Baby Yoda so that nobody questions it when it happens in the movie?
I'm like fine with new Jedi powers, honestly. Like I don't really care. They put in some Force healing, that's fine. I don't understand what Leia did.
She didn't project her being like did.
Yeah.
All she did was
all she did was say his name and distracted him so he could get fucking stabbed.
She just poked him for a second so he'd be thrown off.
And then she died.
She dies. So Rey force heals Ben and runs off.
Why does she force heal him?
Because she feels bad that she killed him.
He's the enemy.
Well,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, is this like I said? I don't understand I don't know what Leia did or why she did it.
Oh no, they have a connection. They're a dyad in the Force.
Boom.
You know that whole rule of two with the Sith? Well, the Force has their own version. It's called a dyad in the Force, where two people can be connected so strongly that they can do a bunch of bullshit that makes no sense.
I don't like it.
That's Kylo's thing. He realizes we're a dyad in the Force, so we're stronger than the Emperor.
Is that even a word? Like, forgive my public school education. What the fuck's a dyad?
Yeah, I think it's like a triad's a thing. I think a dyad is a thing.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Die, meaning two.
Right,
Got it.
Right.
Moving on.
Yeah, so they have this connection. They have this connection, so she feels bad about offing him. So she heals him. She leaves him there. She runs on.
To think about what a bad boy he's been.
Yeah.
Apparently.
She jumps in this TIE fighter and flies away. So he's there. So he gets up. Ben and them leave. He's left alone on the Death Star. And he hears his name from behind him. And he turns around, and it's Han Solo.
Like Force Ghost Han Solo?
No, not Force Ghost Han Solo. It's just a memory of his father. He just said because he starts talking to him, and he starts telling him that they have the father-son moment that they didn't get to have in the first one where he killed him. So
it's almost like a replay of that scene, except Ben makes a different choice.
Yes. Instead of killing his father, he decides I'm going to stop being an animal and listen to my father and realize that I can come back from this.
That would have made for some shitty movies. You know what? I don't want to do this anymore. You're right.
Yeah.
But this just feels so unearned to me.
This is clearly where Leia was supposed to project herself to him. This scene was supposed to play out very differently.
Because Harrison Ford has been adamant about saying he really didn't want to be in any of these things.
Yeah, I'm sure they paraded Carrie Fisher out. Was like, listen, do it for her, buddy. Yeah. Like a bunch of scumbags.
Yeah,
they had to, because he didn't even want to be in Return.
And the only reason he was in a way was because he said, "You're killing Han Solo. I'm done with this shit."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, from what I heard JJ say, he said that he called Harrison and he said, "Look, we want to give Kylo the father moment that he deserves. Will you be in it again?" And that touched Harrison Ford enough to be in it for one scene.
No.
It had nothing to do with the dump truck of money that backed up to his giant mansion.
I hate to say it, but it was probably like, all right, dude, all the money we're going to give Carrie Fisher, we're going to give to you.
You can have all this.
Then you can look like the guy that saved the day and all that.
You can go to your Call the Wild Dog movie to be a happy old man.
Yeah. So get your ass over here, take out your stupid earring, even though you're 75 years old.
So this is where Kylo's being Kylo. He goes back to being Ben Solo. And he's a good guy now.
Can we talk about how this is horse shit? This is complete horse shit.
So wait, he's a good guy now? Hold on, like it changed
his lightsaber and he chucks it into the ocean.
Oh, hold on.
This is his redemption moment right here. Not hinted at. He's had no conflict this entire film up until this point.
He lost a fight.
Getting stabbed is enough, and remembering that he has a dad. What the fuck are you talking about?
You had a daydream. Mm-hmm. And you decide to chuck one of the most badass lightsabers in film.
Yep.
Into the ocean.
So now he's completely unarmed. He has nothing. So this is where, and I'm sure you're going to love all this nonsense. This is where Rey is so distraught at everything that's going on with her. This is where she finds out that she's a Palpatine. That the Emperor found some poor woman, and I'm assuming raped her.
Post getting his face all fucked up.
Yes. After this is Cree Fingers McGee emperor picks some woman, I'm assuming rapes her against her will.
Dropped a silky load.
Just this glowing red.
Jesus.
Maybe it's lightning. I don't know. So
who knows? Shoots lightning out of the tip, probably.
Knocks her up, and the parents. She was supposed to be raised up to be his apprentice. Well, her parents decide, no, we're not going to let you do this to our child, and they abscond with her, and that's why they bring her.
And instead of letting that happen, they sell her into slavery.
They go to Jakku and they find the first scumbag they find, and they sell her to him. You'll be safe here.
Well, because, like, does he even... It's okay, so it seems like his plan is not that he wants her to be his apprentice, but he wants to, like, suck her life force so he can continue living.
No, he wants to die. The cycle needs to continue.
Oh, he wants to inhabit her body, though.
Yeah, he's like Teaser from the Cats. He can't wait to die. Cats joke. It's topical right now.
I know, but I've never seen Cats.
I swear we're going to have to watch Cats for the show.
So
I'm down with it.
His whole thing is he needs to die. The cycle needs to continue. And this is a whole new thing. I can't get Blake's opinion on this. He says that when the apprentice kills the master, the spirit of the master and all the Sith before him will enter the apprentice.
Highlander shit, bro. Highlander shit.
I've never heard of it, but that doesn't mean it hadn't been. So I've never heard of that.
That's apparently.
It sounds cool.
That's why this is. That's why there's the two. The apprentice always kills the master, and there's just like their souls are just like upgrading exponentially.
Well, okay. If that's, like I said, I've never heard of that. But if that's the case, then whoever would be the master Sith would be the greatest force wielder ever, because that's like Black Panther stuff, where you're just getting ancestral knowledge. Yeah. So, yeah, you'd be like the greatest force wielder ever. If
well,
that would mean like
Palpy is in this movie. I mean, he's got like infinite powers.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when Vader threw him off, then he would have become more powerful, but apparently he didn't die when he threw him. So never mind.
The quickening didn't happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she's a Palpatine. So she's like, I'm evil, so I need to go away. She flies back to the planet where Luke exiled himself.
Well, that's just silly.
She flies back to the planet where Luke exiled himself to exile herself.
Yeah, nobody's going to look there.
She lands, she destroys the TIE fighter, and she's like...
Which I never thought, like, I always thought, why didn't they go look for Luke on Tatooine? And it wasn't just because he hated sand. I mean, he had to kind of, like... He had to figure... But then to go there a third time?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nobody's going to find him there.
She goes there. She destroys the TIE fighter. And while she's standing there looking at the blazing TIE fighter, she takes Anakin's lightsaber, and she chucks it into the flaming wreckage. And then a spirit hand comes out and catches it in midair. And Luke Skywalker walks out. First ghost. And she lays this thing out on him. I'm evil. I'm a Palpatine. It's like if I'm out there, something bad's gonna happen, so I need to exile myself like you did. And he's like, oh yeah, we all knew Palpatine.
No, come on.
Yeah, we knew. I mean, there's things that are stronger than blood.
Not according to the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like she needed to come from nowhere. Like Luke and Leia were anomalies. Like the Jedi didn't procreate. Like people have to be, they have to have the Force in them. The Force chooses people, I assume. Like it's bloodlines can't have anything to do with it. It doesn't make sense.
So he says, "Yeah, we knew you were a Palpatine. It didn't matter to us because you can overcome that shit." So buck up, Buckaroo, get back out there. And he
It's just
as a Force ghost, he lifts his X-wing out of the water, plops it down. Now get back in the fray. Oh, and also,
okay. I gotta stop.
Also,
I just have a lot. Okay, finish your thought.
Yeah, but before, and he says, okay, get back in the fray. Oh, also, here's my sister's lightsaber.
She had a lightsaber? Why?
He says here's Leia's lightsaber. She won it. I've been keeping it. You can have it.
So
now she's got.
There is a scene.
She's got Anakin's.
There's a scene where like it shows Luke and Leia as younger people training. Like Luke was trying to train Leia, and she was going to be a Jedi, but then she found out she was pregnant and decided to hang that shit up.
Right.
Yeah. And they do the CG, like they're in the woods. They have the helmets with the blinder on. Mm-hmm. They're fighting each other, and she knocks him down, and he lifts it up. It's young Camel, and then she lifts hers, and it's young Carrie.
Okay. And they're like floaty faces inside the helmets and all that good stuff. Yeah.
He looked better than she did.
Yeah. But so anyway, yeah, Luke had her lightsaber all this time on his exile planet.
Yeah. So now she's being sent back with 2 lightsabers. I wonder who could use one of these sabers.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, John, go.
Okay. I got like 1,000 things. So Rey being a Palpatine is bad. Rian Johnson like wanted her, so in his commentary he says like for the end of Act 2 he wanted her to hear that she was a nobody because he thought that would be the worst thing that she could hear, right? And then JJ, who apparently just now found out what drama was, he was like, yeah, okay, but you know what would be even worse? He's like literally said this. He's like, yeah, but would it be even worse if she found out she was like related to this super evil guy? Like, one of the principles of improv is the concept of yes and, right? Mm-hmm. This is a
yes, and I have a gun.
Yeah, so this is like a yes, but it'd be cooler if. Only it's like not. It's not cooler, and it's thematically confusing. Okay, and then with Luke. So some of the people that I know like liked this movie think that it fixes Luke from the bastardization of Luke in The Last Jedi. And I'm like, did you not watch Last Jedi? Because like, so they think that this line where he says he's wrong or he was wrong fixes him. And I'm like, him showing up on Crate is him admitting he was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not, this doesn't fix him at all. And in my opinion, it actually makes him worse. Because in this movie, he says that he was in exile because he was afraid, not because he had some kind of conviction that he was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It's because he was afraid. Yeah. So that's worse. Now he's the coward that Rian Johnson was trying to make him not be.
He's the coward that Blake thinks he is.
I was going to say, it sounds like somebody's being a bitch.
He was being a bitch. I mean, according to this movie. And then I feel like an idiot because I defended his like projection distraction with the idea that his X-wing probably didn't work. Mm-hmm. He couldn't even leave the planet, but he certainly could have. He just raises it out of the water.
Ah, shit.
Sweet Jesus.
I mean, like, I guess if he did go to fight Kylo in person, his performance wouldn't have been as, like, legendary. Like, he would have just been killed in the barrage of AT-AT fire. And then, like, the spark of hope wouldn't have been lit or whatever, but...
Yeah, so... She goes back into the fish. She hooks up. Okay, and the Sith Wayfinder looks like it's something out of a completely different movie.
Yeah. It looks kind of like Tomb Raider shit.
It looks like something that you would use in like Doom, to get to hell.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's this little like
to get to
it's
hell.
like this little pyramid that's glowing green inside, and to use it as a GPS to find Exegol, you just plop it on the dashboard of your X-wing and you stick a wire in it.
Okay.
Because it shows
Universal.
It shows her in this ancient X-wing, and it's sitting there on the dashboard like a little hula girl, and it's just got some random wires cut out of it.
It's plugged in. Her little Magellan.
So she's flying to Exegol now. Kylo still has his, so he's going back. No, he doesn't. No. He's got this is his. They broke the one that they found in the Death Star. Kylo smashed it with his bare hands. They're all made of paper.
He already knew where his was, or he already knew where Exegol was.
Yeah.
He'd been there.
He'd been there before. He knows where it is. He's going back. She's going there the first time. I can't remember how the rest of them get there. They hone in on her.
Oh yeah, I guess they must have, right?
I honestly can't remember how the rest of the fleet got there, but they both go there. They get word that the Emperor's got this fleet of Star Destroyers. They all have a Star cannon on them, so we gotta go and stop them. So they fly just little pissant fleet that they have, which isn't many people, and they make this point saying that at the Battle of Crate, we sent out a distress signal everywhere, and nobody came to help us because the Spark of Hope's gone, and everyone's just crushed by the First Order. No one's going to come and help. So they say, we got to try one more time because people get behind us. Doggone it, we can this thing around. So they fly to Exegol, which is just flying through a red, cloudy lightning tube. They get there. Rey goes in, and she meets with the Emperor, and he's like, "Oh, all according to plan."
That's good, Gramps.
So he comes in. He's like, "You're gonna be my apprentice, just like I had planned from the get-go. Everything that's happened in between when I knocked up your mom and now has been everything that I meant to happen. So you're here now. You're gonna kill me. I'm gonna go into you, and you're gonna be the greatest Sith that ever lived."
Sounds like a good plan. Kill him.
So she's resisting doing that, and it's goading her on. Kylo arrives, and he has nothing. Again, he's weaponless. He lands, goes into the big floating shoebox, and who's there guarding it? The Night Ren.
Oh, they finally show up.
Yeah.
They've sort of been in the background of this. Like they were
with him
stuff.
when they were searching. They're with him when they were searching for them on the planet where they were getting 3PO's brain messed with.
Oh, okay.
They were trying to help them find Palpatine for a while or something.
Yeah, they were with them in the forest in the beginning. Yeah, they were around in this one. We didn't know personality from them at all. They're just kind of there. So he shows up. The Knights of Ren are getting it. He decides to go fisticuffs with the Knights of Ren because he's got nothing.
Yeah,
and they agree to it.
Well, they
don't use their weapons.
They got weapons, but I thought they were.
I thought it was like one of those honor things, like they all threw down their shit and fought them with. Okay,
I thought they were Force users, but I guess not.
I thought they were the students that he took with him, because Luke says
that's what I thought.
In Last Jedi. He says that
he took
he took a handful of students, killed the rest. I always assumed that was the Knights of Ren, were their apprentices.
Yeah,
but. Apparently
none of them have lightsabers.
They've just like axes and shit. So he's fighting them. The Emperor's goading Rey to you're gonna kill me now, and she lights up lightsaber, and the fans, the Sith in the crowd doing the stomp clap.
We will Sith you.
They're ready for it.
Are you serious?
No. They are cheering. They're happy.
Okay.
She lifts up the saber over her head like she's going to kill him. He's all happy. And then, because the dyad in the they established this earlier, when they're on the sand planet, he does this little thing where he's talking to her through the force, and he reaches out and grabs her, and he pulls this necklace that one of the little squid children gives her. He grabs that, and then it pulled through reality to where he is.
Mm-hmm.
So they have it analyzed, and he knows what planet they're on now. So we've established that it's Freddy vs. Jason rules. If you can grab them, you can pull them to wherever you are.
Nice. And by nice, I mean stupid.
So she lifts the lightsaber up and lets it go. And it appears in his hand outside a shoebox.
Well, how does she know she can do these things?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
How does she know he's like ready for it?
Yeah. That could be bad news.
I mean,
she lets
through the force, dog.
Yeah,
she's like, "Hey, I sent you a package. Like, it should be arriving shortly."
She lets it go. He grabs it, lights it up. He's got Anakin's lightsaber now. Grandfather's lightsaber is always one. It was his lightsaber,
right?
He's got it. And the one thing that I kind of liked, he did the Harrison Ford like little shoulder shrug thing. Like, what are you gonna do?
I actually like this whole fight. This was probably the best part of the movie.
So he goes at it with the Knights of Ren. He offs them all.
As he should.
It was a good fight.
It was pretty badass, for sure.
So at this point, the Rebel fleet arrives at Exegol. And then they saw all the Star Destroyers like, oh no, they all have Death Star cannons, because why not? What are we going to do? And then, I forget if it was either Finn or Poe points out, oh, look down there. This is a tower. If we can blow up that tower, they can't leave the planet.
How do you know that?
Oh, was it the...
Big...
Oh, wait a minute. Did we skipped the spy thing?
Oh, shit.
That's how they were able to get Chewie. I forgot about that.
You know how they figured it? Yeah, that's right. I forgot. You're going to love this too. You know how they found out that Chewie was alive? If you blow up this tower, the Sith fleet can't leave the planet?
How's that?
General Hux was by the whole time.
No, he wasn't.
No, okay, no.
You can't say that.
He wasn't. He wasn't a spy the whole time.
He was not the whole time. After Kylo took over, he turned spy.
Yeah.
You can't say that.
Do you know? Because he wanted Kylo to lose. That's all he wants.
No. You can't do that.
Bullshit.
So
that's like something you that's shoehorned. I mean, that's the definition of shoehorned.
When they're on the Star Destroyer and they save Chewie, that's how they escape. Hux rescues them.
Helps them, yeah.
He helps them get away.
Oh my god.
He makes...
And he's like, I'm the spy.
Yeah. They're about to... They catch him, and they're about to execute him, and Hux says... He grabs the blaster out of a stormtrooper's arms and says, give me that, I'm going to do this myself. And he turns around, and he shoots the stormtroopers, and he whips back and he goes, I'm the spy.
It's embarrassing.
Oh my god.
So he helped him escape. He makes them shoot him in the leg so that it looks like he's not in cahoot. But new general of the First Order sees through it immediately and just kills them dead. And as soon as he says, oh, they shot me and they escaped, I don't know what happened. And he shoots him and he says, let the Emperor know we found our eye.
Good, okay. Somebody competent now.
So there's a new dude in charge. And that's how they find out that Exegol is so hard to get in and out of that they need the transmission tower to guide the fleet out. And if they don't have that, the ships are just stuck on this planet forever. Because the Emperor's a fucking idiot. Haven't people been flying in there
willy-nilly throughout the movie?
Well, they had the Doom helmet.
Okay, well...
It's nonsense.
I'm not saying it makes sense.
Map? Who made the map?
The same asshole that did the dagger.
Okay, so he knows how to get up. Okay. That's like me saying I don't know how to get out of my house if I don't have a map. But I'm going to give everybody else the map. but I don't know how to get out of my own house.
Yeah, but it's like I'm going to tell you guys how to get out of the house on a walkie-talkie, but there's like only one walkie-talkie, and if we blow up that walkie-talkie, you'll have no idea how to get out of your house.
So that's the plan. We're gonna go and blow up the tower. The Star Destroyers will be stuck on all forever. Problem solved. So they start the attack on the tower. Well, what's his fuck already figured out that Hux was a guy, so they assume that they know this. So they say, hey, transfer the bullshit that the tower has the lead Star Destroyer, and we'll be the ones to lead everybody out. So
I don't know why they couldn't do that a couple hundred more times and just have each one of them know how to get out by themselves. But...
there's only one walking to talk.
Plus, if you give a man a fish as opposed to teaching him to fish.
So they start the attack on the tower, and they shut the tower down. So like, why they shut the tower down? They can't leave. I'm like, oh, they know plan. Oh no.
Oh boy.
So they know who's transmitting the map now. So it's like, I don't know what we're gonna do. I guess we just have to whack them. So they start doing it. At this point, when the Emperor decides, all right, I'm gonna put a stop to this, and he force lightnings up into the sky, into space, and pinpoint nails all the rebellion ships with his force lightning, and doesn't blow them.
He shoots like this crazy column of lightning.
Yeah. It zooms down on him, and he's just like, he's blasting lightning.
Oh, he's loving it.
So, and he doesn't blow them up. He just turns the ships off. It's like an EMP.
Oh yeah.
So wouldn't you just blow them the fuck up?
You'd think so. I mean, Rey's lightning blew up that other ship earlier in the movie
pretty easily, and she wasn't shooting it into space.
Yeah.
So he hits the off switch on all the rebellion ships, and they all just go dead in the water. And Lando Calrissian's there.
Lando Calrissian's there.
Oh, he's so of course, like there's a line about they send him out to like try to get more people to come fight with them. Yeah. And then when things look bleakest for the fleet, he shows up with like a fuck ton of other ships.
There's just this massive wall of ships, and then they get on the Star Destroyer like, who is that? A fleet that big? It's not a fleet. It's just a bunch of people. They say that. They say that.
God. Which is supposed to be like a cool line, I think, but it didn't land.
So any asshole ship jumped in, and they all flew to Exegol. You could just do that, but these assholes that live there can't.
Y'all just brought up Futurama before. They did that in Futurama.
Yeah, well, there you go.
When they were fighting the ball aliens, everybody who had a ship had to go fight.
Yeah.
Bouncing of the first kind. So they all show up. The firefight's still going on. Back in Land, Kylo fights his way. He gets inside the thing, and he meets up with Rey's got Leia's lightsaber, and where the Emperor's like fine, if you're not gonna kill me, I'm gonna kill you. And just saying it, it's just fucking. So they refuse to kill him. So he starts sucking the life out of them, which is another new force power.
He hocus pocus them.
Just hocus pocus. He's just.
Oh God!
If those witches are going to take his lightning powers, he's going to take their life sucking powers.
Oh, wait! There is a connection.
So he's doing that, and his fingers grow back, so you know it's working.
Yeah.
Oh, how convenient that his fingers are messed up.
That's actually the part where he shoots the lightning into space. I forgot. He fixes his fingers, and then he's able to blast lightning into space.
Oh, yeah, his fingers were at like 40% lightning potential.
Well, that makes perfect sense then.
God damn it. So they say the Rebel fleet finds out, okay, the lead Star Destroyer broadcasting the signal, so take that out. So they fly a bunch of ships and land on the outside of the Star Destroyer. And so the lead Star Destroyer guy says, okay, well, they're going to do a ground assault on the Star Destroyer to get communication tower. Send out a jamming signal, jam their transport, their speeders or whatever. And they said they're not using speeders. And they come riding out on these big fucking horses. So they're riding horses across the deck of a Star Destroyer in space.
Well, I mean, it's in
space.
The
they're within the atmosphere. Within the atmosphere. It's still stupid. Just tip the show over.
Hell?
Just rotate on your axis 15 degrees.
Yeah. Do these horses have hooves?
Yes.
Oh yeah, just pitch a little bit. They'll slip right off of there.
So they ride up to the tower and they blow it up, and so yay, the ships just are stuck there now, I guess. God damn it.
Okay, for somebody planning, I'm gonna make a plan that lasts 30 years. And it all comes together perfectly. But yet my plan is also going to be to build these things on a planet that they can't take off without some kind of super guidance system.
Yeah.
Why didn't you plan for that?
Yeah,
put it on part of my plan.
It's honestly insulting at this point.
It is.
We've had several Star Destroyers that all had like this tiny, flaw now that they can exploit and blow up. And then JJ and his like monstrous uncreativity, instead of another gianter Death Star, it's like a fuckload of little Death Stars, and they still have one flaw that can destroy all of them.
Sweet Jesus.
It's ridiculous.
So basically, this whole 9-movie trilogy, this whole 9-movie series comes down to Luke shooting a hole.
Yep.
Yeah, essentially.
Shoot the hole.
Shoot the hole, Luke.
So, back with the Emperor, actually, I think I skipped something. He force pushes Kylo Ren down a hole. Since we're talking about holes. Since we're on the
shoot the hole
on the topic of holes. I want to say he does before he sucks the life out of Rey and shoots it up in the. So he force pushes him down a hole. He falls in the hole. Oh no, he's gone. So Rey is like struggling to fight back, and she hears the voice of Luke in her head saying that you got this, kid. You just get right on up back on that horse.
Well, it's like every Jedi ever.
Yeah, every Jedi ever.
A little bit cool.
Liam Neeson, Samuel L. Jackson, Yoda, Ewan McGregor, all of them. Every Jedi that's ever been in a thing speaks to her and says that we've been with you this whole time. We're all in your corner, and you got this, kid.
Yeah, all that just makes me think of the Wedding Singer. Things I could have known yesterday.
So she fights way up, and she's blocking his lightning with the one lightsaber he's got. And does Kylo climb now, or is it later? Because I know the thing that tips the scales against her in this struggle with the Emperor's lightning and her lightsaber is she whips out the other lightsaber and makes an X with it, and that's just too much for him to handle.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't. I just like it's ridiculous. Like, we just saw him take down an entire fleet with his lightning, and just like a couple of lightsabers absorb all of it.
It's basically what Windu did. Where Windu's blocking his lightning, and he pushes it back at him and fries him. She just does a upgraded version of that.
Is Palpy unable to stop using his lightning? Like, it's like this is the third time this has happened to him, where like he's shooting Windu, the lightning's going back at him, and he can't stop. He just can't stop. He fucked himself all up.
It's like when you start peeing. Like, you can't stop.
It hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
I get it all out.
Stop.
And he does it again.
I gotta get it all out, then I gotta shake it a little bit at the end.
And then he just does it again here. It's just like, it's so lame. He blows himself up with his lightning.
He's blasting the lightning. She makes the X with the 2 lightsabers. She pushes it back. This time it just completely disintegrates him. And he just melts away into nothing. The whole Sith palace starts falling apart. All the revelers are squished. Kylo Ren comes crawling out of the hole just enough time to crawl up to Rey, and he picks her up. She's dead now. She died from the exertion of shooting the lightning. She collapses around dead. Yeah, I mean, Jedi's die for no fucking reason all the time. So he picks her up. He force heals her. She comes back to life. And then the stupidest fuck does not need to happen. They force a kiss.
Why?
Did not need to happen.
I mean, there's a fan base that really wanted to see them end up together.
Well,
and it wouldn't have bothered me if they'd made it work. Like, you could write it in a way that would work, but this movie didn't really do that.
Enjoy it for 2 seconds because they kiss and then he immediately dies.
me and one of the guys I went with just started laughing when he died because it was so fucking lame.
I've read multiple reports of people bursting out and laugh at not only the kiss but the immediate death after that kiss.
They might as well just have like smash cut to his funeral. Like, it was really funny.
They kiss, he dies, he immediately fades away into the soul.
And only then do they show Leia fading away into the Force.
Yeah, it cuts back to
the corpse has just been laying around for a while.
It's just been laying there in the base, stinking up the joint. So, she disappears when he disappears. Rey's awake. They all everything's now that the Emperor's dead, all that's done. Fly away. I also read a lot of people say, I'm really sad we never got a scene where Poe and Finn finally just owned up to and hooked up.
Right.
Oh, dude, my other part was like, everyone fucks and no one's gay. Like, that was really important.
Except that one pair of women, except in China.
Yeah, right. One pair in the background.
There's the background kiss between 2 women, and is edited for our Chinese overlords.
But Poe is definitely not gay, so that was important to note.
Because he's hooking up Daft Punk.
Well, not really, but he wants to.
Oh, and in the big fight where Lando shows up with all the assholes, Daft Punk's with him, and when it cuts to her and it shows her in the cockpit, that little fucking dude that worked on 3PO pops up in the cockpit and like waves, and it's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
Why is he there? He's like a little mechanic or something. Like, why is he there? It's not like they didn't set up the Daft Punk and him were like good friends or anything.
Like, I need to see it again because at the moment it looked like it was like they cut him out of the scene he was in before, put him in this scene. It's so out of place. Just comes up, he's like,
we need to see that little guy again.
Hey, why are you here? and by the way, R2-D2 has a backup C-3PO's brain all the time, so he's back.
No stakes.
How convenient.
No stakes whatsoever.
Hey. And also, you'd be happy to hear Chewbacca finally got his medal. You know how
they made
how everyone was up in arms.
Deal about
how everyone was up in arms that in the New Hope, Han and Luke got medals and Chewie got dick. Well, with their all face. Somebody comes out, they give him this wrapped up thing, and he unwraps it, and then it's his medal from Leia. And that Leia wanted you to have this. It's only 3 decades too late.
He should have ripped off that dude's arms.
I think it was Maz again.
Yeah.
They just use like Maz whenever they need something to happen. Like, Maz did it.
Yeah.
Just like rip off their arms and chuck the metal.
And when Chewie finds out that Leia died, it was supposed to be emotional, but it was not at all.
Did he go, "Boo"?
Yeah, essentially.
Well,
yes.
That kind of takes it out of it, doesn't it?
Dude, like every character from the original trilogy, they like all died trying to redeem Kylo Ren, and then he just fucking drops dead. They all died for like no reason.
Yeah.
So wait, he doesn't come back?
No, he's just dead, bro. Just gone.
He's gone. Fuck. He fits into the Force, and that's it. We never see him again.
That
no
sucks.
Force ghost, no nothing.
And you know what? He doesn't even have any lines after he's redeemed. Like, he never says another word.
Well, what's the point of them being dyads of the Force? Like, don't you need to keep doing that?
No, the new dyad is Rey and that little asshole kid on the casino planet.
Yeah. The unwashed child of Canto.
Oh, man.
Now, let me tell you what I thought was going to happen just real quick, because I don't want to take up too much time on it.
Yeah.
I've been reading a lot about the proto-Jedi, like the very first Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that wrote all the books that got blown up in the tree by Yoda.
Yeah.
No, Rey took the
whatever. Who gives a fuck? But you see, like, his little insignia. It's on the floor whenever in Last Jedi, and it's like an alien sitting in like a lotus position holding a lightsaber, but it's all black and white like a yin yang thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And because it was that he used both sides of the Force, that was true balance in the Force. I really thought that if you're gonna take the time to add that stuff into that movie, I thought we were going to somehow see a balance of them two doing that, where they would realize that, hey, you actually need good and bad. And
well, when you have JJ, I don't know how to make a movie come in at 11th hour.
Because, I mean, it was there. Why did they make a fucking mosaic of the dude's, like, symbol? So I really thought we were going to see the true balance of the Force, which is it's not this polar... The polar opposites being equal. No, it's that you have to embrace both sides of the Force.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why many things that Regan sets up went completely unappreciated.
Well, I thought the whole proto-Jedi thing, when I started reading, I was like, okay, this is really cool. And I guess
that could have been a great like wrap up to the entire series too. Like
exactly.
It's something that would actually bring it all sort of around to something that was
true
interesting.
Balance to the Force.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing is about bringing balance. Yeah. And now you're back to lopsided.
It's always been about bringing balance.
Oh, man.
So they beat the Fifth Order. We have to go around to all of the planets that we know and love and check in with them and see the Empire falling out of the sky again.
Yes, we do.
Oh, you want to see the Ewoks again? You got it.
But you can't go to that planet?
Nope. But we do go back to the Forest Moon and Endor so that they can be looking up in the sky as a Star Destroyer's falling and they wave at it.
God.
So all that happens. We see all the major planets that.
Does like Wicket have like a cool old man beard now?
They didn't get that much.
Okay. Like, I'm just picturing him like with like a God of War beard.
I think they actually did get Warwick Davis back though to play Wicket. One of those Ewoks was Warwick Davis, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, he did.
Got his paycheck.
Yeah. So. After all that, it's all over. Wrapped up everybody. We go back with Rey. Where did he go?
Oh, come on.
Where does she land? Lars' farm. She shows up, she goes to Lars' farm, she decides, I'm going to live here. And some old woman comes wandering out the fucking desert because they don't have neighbors.
Yeah, there's no reason for this lady to be there. Unless she's stealing, like, the copper pipes or something.
Yeah, she comes out and she's like there hasn't been anybody here in ages, meaning that since the Lars got blown up, this place has been abandoned.
Right.
So I guess there's still just some corpses laying around. So she asks, "Who are you?" His name's Ray. She goes, "Okay, Ray what?" She goes, "Ray Skywalker."
Garbage.
And she takes Anakin and Leia's lightsabers and she buries them. And we see that she's finished completing her lightsaber that has a yellow blade for reasons unknown. I don't know where she found a yellow kyber crystal. I believe those things are supposed to be rare. I would think that the Emperor used them all up, making 200,000 Death Star guns.
The only yellow lightsaber that I know, like, besides, like, some wonky, like, I made my own character on, you know, a video game, there was a Wookiee Jedi that had a yellow lightsaber.
I know in KOTOR you could have a yellow lightsaber.
Yeah.
But I'm not, like, annoyed at the yellow lightsaber. But it is another thing they can sell a toy of. They introduced, there's like 3 new lightsabers in this. So there's the repaired Anakin lightsaber. So they can sell that. Mm-hmm. There's a Leia lightsaber. They can sell that bad boy. And Rey's new lightsaber. So...
And the butterfly knife lightsaber.
Oh yeah, even though it only makes a brief appearance. But they can sell that.
That Wookiee's lightsaber, the hilt is all made out of wood.
Oh, that's cool.
No, I'm dead serious. That thing is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, I get what you mean, that it's probably housed in wood, but it's still got all the mechanics of a lightsaber. I'm just...
No. The wires are vines.
Yeah, when you said it, I pictured like a broken off piece of a branch that a lightsaber comes out of.
Like a half-ass oaken shield type thing.
Yeah. So yeah, and then it just kind of ends.
Good God.
I think about what could have been, and like it makes me really upset. Like I'm really sad. This should have been Leia's movie, and I think they really wanted it to be. Like, she needed to train and build a relationship with Rey and be there to, like, help her through hearing that she's a Palpatine, you know? Because, like, Leia went through something similar. And then she needed to bring Ben back to the light. And ultimately, I don't think she should have died in this movie at all. But they just didn't have what they needed for that.
There ain't much they could do about that.
I know, I know. But I'm just like... and then every time she was in the movie, it was so awkward.
Right.
Because they're just trying to, like, write around the dialogue that they had for her, and she never says anything, like, important or profound. Yeah, she's always just standing there.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, if y'all haven't already, do yourselves a favor and read about the Proto-Jedi.
Okay.
And, like, realize what a missed opportunity that was.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Sounds cool.
Because it's there. Like, it's fucking there in the movie. Like, if you go back and watch Last Jedi, I forget what scene it is, but you see this big mosaic thing on the floor.
Oh, yeah. I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's there.
I don't know why both these guys just... I don't know why it's like... I don't feel like Ryan ignored things in Force Awakens, but JJ definitely ignored things in Last Jedi.
Because if you wasn't planning on using that, why did you go through the trouble of even that piss? Like, you could have really done something cool with that.
Because when you're in control of a major franchise that's established for decades, the last thing you want to do is talk to each other about it.
I mean,
to me, okay, look, I'm just a fucking idiot from Buras, Louisiana. But even I know, if you would have, like, really shown what true balance of the Force was by the end of this one, that it's both sides. God damn, you could make a political statement about it, for fuck's sake.
You could even do that.
It isn't about being on the extreme ends of this pendulum swing. It's embracing both sides. Boom. You've made a better America. You've made a better Star Wars. God bless Iron Man.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Y'all know I'm right, too.
And then it was just an awkward, angry drive home.
Oh, what about... okay, so Lando's in this movie for, like, no reason.
Yep.
And then they keep introducing new characters that also we don't need. Like, we have... there's a big thing online now about how, like, Rose Tico got done dirty because, like, she's in this movie for 2 total on-screen minutes. Mm. But they introduce new characters even. Like, that also don't have anything to do. So they introduce, what's her name? Yana or something? The woman from the planet where she used to be a stormtrooper. Mm-hmm. And then when the last time we see her and Lando, she, like, doesn't know where she's from, and he delivers this creepy line about, like, what do we find out? You remember that? And, like, everyone's like, oh, God, like, Lando's trying to fuck this girl? But apparently, you gotta go elsewhere for this information, but that's his daughter. Yeah.
What you have to do? Log in some time in Minecraft to figure that shit
out? I know that there was fears going in that it would turn out that Finn was hidden, just because they're the only 2 black guys in the universe.
Right.
I'm sure that was floated across a boardroom table at some point.
I'm actually shocked they didn't go with it. They got so many other bad ideas in this movie.
Well,
also Finn is force sensitive. Also,
is he?
Which apparently,
that's stupid. Why can't you just be your own thing?
I don't know.
Like, Han wasn't force sensitive, and he's okay. I mean, he's not my favorite, but I mean, he's. He doesn't have to be force sensitive to be halfway in.
And Finn got forever friend-zoned. Because he even has a line where it looks when they're on the Star Destroyer and it looks like they're going to be executed right before Huck reveals he's a spy. He actually has a moment where he says something. He's talking under his breath to Poe, and he says something like, I never got to tell Rey how I feel or anything. And it's never touched on again for the rest of the movie.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that movie.
So,
oh man,
like what Blake has said before. At least now, it's over. We've got a clean
let's
slate.
explore the universe.
We know they're doing a new trilogy. They could just start scratch.
Yeah. All right.
And it'd probably be bad.
I hope not, but.
Well, I've had enough of this.
It's not looking good. So, like, there's some things that, now that the series is wrapped up, there's things that I still wish that they would have shown me that they never did. So, I mentioned telling me how Emperor survived.
Right.
An explanation of how Anakin's lightsaber got to Maz's place. How did Snoke corrupt Ben? Like, it seemed like he was isolated at Luke's Jedi school. Like, how was he getting in there?
It seemed like it. Well, yeah, because Luke said that he knew Snoke has already started messing with him, so they had to have had an interaction.
Yeah, that could have been interesting to see, I guess. I wouldn't have minded a quick scene where Lando was trying to convince people to join the fight at the end of this movie, because he just shows up with like tons of people, and it's strange.
It'd have been great, like, if it was just a montage, like Lando walking into places with just a sheet of paper pointing to it.
Something that explained the rise of the First Order a little more clearly, because I'm still not totally clear on how, like, they came to power.
I mean, not say it. They should have stuck with at least a few of Lucas' ideas. It's just the Imperial remnant.
Yeah.
It's what was like, they didn't all just drop dead when the Emperor died. I mean, they're the freaking Empire. They're everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know why they had to rename them, why they had to, like, rebrand. They totally rebranded, bro.
Apparently the asshole didn't even die. So,
all part of the plan.
Why did they lose power at all? They've lost Death Star before. That's nothing.
It's true.
And I still would have liked a little bit more on who the Knights of Ren were, or like anything about them. But oh well. I would have liked to have seen Ben live. You know, that could have been cool. What a mess.
Yeah, what a mess.
Well, at least we've got Mandalorian, which is something else that a lot of people hate for some reason.
I don't know why.
I've seen some people say that the storytelling is bad, and I'm like, what is that? What are you talking about? In what way? Like, whatever.
The ones that I've seen, they just said that you don't get to spend any time with the characters. So bad.
Well, I don't know. One of the critiques I heard of it was, oh, it's like video game quest missions. I'm like, what's wrong with that?
That's a TV show. Like,
yeah.
That's I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, that's what TV shows are kind of like sometimes. Like, if it's a serial like this, like, that's what they do.
And I mean, it's definitely had ups and it's had strong episodes and a couple of episodes.
Yeah, but that's every show in existence has strong and weak episodes. You're supposed to look at it at the entirety of the season.
Yeah.
And whenever you see The Mandalorian in the entirety, John, you'll realize it's
2 more episodes.
Freaking beautiful.
2 more episodes. Oh, man.
And then that happens that we can't talk about.
Yeah. How about that, folks? That happened?
When that happened?
When you saw that and everything went through your mind? You saw that?
Well, I'm sorry we can't talk about it and make this episode 3 fucking hours long, but...
I mean, all the questions I have just of that.
Exactly. How'd that get to that?
You know? Don't know. I mean, I have an idea, but that doesn't mean anything. Looks like I got to tune into the next season to see how they got that when they shouldn't have that thing. But that did look pretty fucking awesome.
All right, I'm just gonna have to like go watch it right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Am I right, Chase? It did look good.
It did look that. So tune in next time on Garbage Theater presents Shut Up, a Star Wars Episode 3 Part 2. That.
Can you believe that?
Oh man.
Well, that was a whole thing.
It was a whole thing.
So, like, when you gonna see it?
I don't know. Still waiting to find me a good handycam version of it. I probably shouldn't put that out there into the world.
I really did want to get to see it a second time before we did this, but I saw Knives Out a second time instead. And
really my biggest disappointment with it is I never had that moment that I wanted from it. That closing...
What, you didn't get to cry in a movie theater?
Yeah, that closing, it's over kind of thing. I just didn't give it a shit.
Yeah, you just have... That's another thing that we're not quite getting across here is, like, nothing has any emotional weight. The pace is so crushing. It's moving so fast. You don't get to like think about anything. The fucking First Order is always there. It's like every scene ends with the First Order showing up and them having to escape. It's just an unpleasant experience. Yeah.
No pacing at all.
Oh well. It's over.
Yeah.
We can look forward to other things.
That it is. Did everybody finish Witcher?
Yeah.
No, I haven't even started Witcher.
John, Jesus Christ!
I have like 2 jobs, 2 kids.
Can't talk about shit with this guy.
I don't even know how you guys find the time, to be honest.
We all have 2 kids. You can't use that as an excuse.
Yeah. Dude, on The Witcher, when that happened, fuck.
I've been hearing good things.
Oh my god. For another time. Meanwhile, we all gotta go and see cats now, apparently.
Well, I do not want to pay for it, but once it's streaming somewhere, I think that would be a pretty funny episode.
What I'm actually sad about is that they fixed some of it now, and we're going to get to see the true awfulness.
Oh, it'll be out
the
there.
First cut.
It'll be out there.
No. I think what they fixed was some of the visual effects that were bad.
Exactly.
The movie, what I'm hearing about the movie is that it's not a problem with the visual effects. It's like a problem with everything.
Oh, yeah, that too. But I mean, I would love to see the cut where it looks like the cat people are like floating on a different plane than the rest of the movie.
I read something on Reddit where somebody said like the trailer for Cats came on when they went and saw The Lion King in theaters, and their kids cried.
Oh. It was a horror show when we went and saw Lion King. That came on. That.
Andrew Lloyd Webber's That's.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. I'm tired.
Thanks, everybody, for putting up with our Star Wars nerdery. I want to say this is the last one. I doubt we'll come back and do a Mandalorian episode. Unless you guys want that. Unless you guys have been enjoying this for some reason. We just kind of did this because we felt like we had to. Kind of like Rise of Skywalker. There you have it, folks. The close of our Star Wars trilogy. Maybe you enjoyed it. Maybe you could understand it. You wanted it. So there it was. I'd like to thank everybody for listening. If you can, drop us a review on iTunes. We'd very much appreciate it. You can reach out to us on our Facebook at facebook.com/garbagetheater, on Instagram at garbage_theater, and you can email us directly at garbagetheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Send those movie pics to us. We're about to start off season 6 with Axe Giant, and we will see you then.